start right now living an extraordinary life. Join your life coach and favorite auntie, Carla D. Tillery, and co-host LA on the Chair Chronicles. Having those important life talks and giving you advice to help you live your best life. Welcome to the Chair Chronicles podcast.
Yes, welcome.
Yes, so we have a series we're about to enter into.
Yes.
And we want to talk about life after the age of 50.
Yes.
And we have both crossed that milestone.
Oh, yes.
A few years back.
Yes.
But what I am finding is that within my circle of friends, we are facing a whole new set of issues, feelings, emotions. Right. Things are happening unexpectedly. Right. Things are happening without us controlling things.
Right.
Things are falling.
Exactly.
Things, we're forgetting things.
Right.
All kinds of things are happening now.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to kind of just start to dive into this.
Yes.
And if you are not yet over the age of 50, you do not hit pause. Do not hit stop and go look at something else. Right. You need to stay connected on this because if you haven't reached 50, hopefully you will.
Oh, yes.
And maybe we'll say something today that will just help set a foundation and a layer for you. So when you do turn 50, you won't get some of the surprises that we had.
Yes, absolutely.
So is it different for you? Do you think something is different now that you're over age 50?
Yes, absolutely.
What?
I see things through a very different lens. And again, we have the hopes and dreams when we're in our 20s of what our lives are going to look like. And even when I was in my 20s, I thought somebody 50 was so old.
I know. And it's like I don't feel old.
I don't either. I'm older. But I don't feel old, not at all. So do not believe the hype.
That's right. And that goes back to the power of our words, right? Yes. If we say we're going to live and thrive our entire life, then that should be our expectation. Exactly. And that should attract everything into our life that will allow us to actually live that way.
Exactly. And I think by us having a series like this, it's important because what happens is we tend to look at the Oprahs and the Michelle Obamas and women that are in Hollywood or celebrities, and we're looking at them at the age of 50 and you're like, wow, they're glamorous, But let's just be clear. They have glam squads and all of that great stuff. But I'm sure they are also feeling some of the things that we feel. So to me, it's relatable when I'm sitting beside someone. Yes. When I can relate to my girlfriends who are the same age.
Listen, we're the real deal.
We are the real deal. You don't wake up every morning feeling your best. But again, this journey to 50 it's been a roller coaster ride, but I'm glad I'm here.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And it's wisdom. There's wisdom that should come with age. And I believe that some of the things that we're doing now to be able to impart on you. So don't go anywhere.
Don't go anywhere. Stay right here and stay tuned with us. Okay. Yes. So for me, I think that I do have a stronger awareness of who I am. And I wish I had known that was coming. I mean, in terms of not beating myself up during my 30s and my 40s, trying to figure certain things out and just teaching myself to be patient. Teaching myself to be patient. Yeah. And whether it's, 51, 52 or 48, 49, I think we're just talking about this era, right? Yeah. That you start to walk into because you have lived some years and now you've got some experience behind your back. Right. Hopefully you're walking into more self-awareness.
Yes, that's huge. That is huge because we should be growing. And don't feel that because you reached a certain age that there's nothing else to learn. There's no other place that I need to grow. There is always. And you have something to impart because like you said, you have some experience behind you now. And there are things that you might have tolerated when you were in your 30s and you're like, that you are not going to tolerate now. Right. But there also is that other part of us where we do become settled. And in certain instances, we also need to allow ourselves to remain lucid, remain open.
Remain open. I love that. Yeah, absolutely. Remain open. So listen, let's talk about some ways that, some strategies that people can do to make sure they are living a happy life, right? And I know we're focused on over the age 50, but I'm sure some of these things can apply at any age.
Absolutely.
But I think once you do turn 50, there are some things that I think you need to kind of create in your lifestyle.
Right.
Because things do change. Your lifestyle will change.
Yes.
Whether you have children and perhaps at this point they may be grown, maybe not, because people have families at different ages.
Right.
But if you find yourself at this point where your children are grown, I for me, that was me. And so it was like, I've got all this time.
Right.
I've got all this space. And it's like, what am I going to do?
Right. Your role has changed.
My role has changed.
Yeah.
And so let's talk about some things. So one of the things I would say is find something to look forward to every day.
Yes.
Because if you're always just thinking about memories, then it could put you in a place, what the memories is where everything housed that was good. And now you don't have anything else to look forward to. Right? The athletic events that maybe your children were involved in. Maybe it's going to the birthday parties. You know, my Christmases and holidays are very different now than they were. So I'm not living through the life of children anymore. So I have to find something to look forward to. I have to find a way to still make the holidays festive, even though my children are adults and they're doing their own thing right now. Right. And so find something to look forward to.
Yeah. And I think that kind of leads into what I'm thinking about. Plan your to-do list.
Okay.
Now, let's just be clear. I think we all have those sticky notes, that piece of paper that has the bullet points. It has all these things that we want to check off. But what we're talking about is being intentional.
Yes, that's it.
Putting things on your list that will make you feel accomplished when you've done that check mark.
Right. That is something to look forward to, right?
Yes,
so I think having those projects, having something that you can work on will help keep your mind active, will keep you stimulated, will keep you, again, like alive, because there's something that you have to get accomplished.
Right.
So making that to-do list and really having something to look forward to can actually work very closely.
Oh, yeah.
They're like partners.
They are partners. And like you said, trying to figure out, okay, what do I do now? Tap into that creative side of you. Maybe you stopped reading and you enjoyed reading. That's something. That's knowledge. That's getting those that reading the words and having it jump off the page at you. Or maybe you wanted to take a class, a free class at your local high school. There are ways that you can, really tap into that sense of, what do I do now?
What do I do now? Absolutely. Yeah. Dream again. Yeah. That's what I say. Dream again. Yeah. You might even want to start a business. Maybe you say, you know what? Now it's time for me to step into my own. Right. And so maybe there's something you want to do. Maybe not just reading the book. Right. Maybe it is writing the book. Yeah, that's on my list. Wow, it's on my list. It's on my list. It's on my list. I haven't gotten to it yet, but it's still on my list. But I think having some goals, having dreaming again, and kind of reactivating dreams that you had that you put aside. Right. Because I think that when you're intentional about having something to look forward to, it keeps you alive.
It does.
It keeps you alive. And we're talking about how to live after 50, right?
Because we want to engage. We want to engage in life. We don't want to just be here and this is it.
This is it.
No, there's more to you than just that.
That's right.
And you're not defined by being a girlfriend or being a wife or being a grandmother or being an auntie. You are more than title.
Yes. You're more than your role.
Yes.
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes.
Good stuff.
This is good.
Okay.
This is good.
Focus on achievement, not luck. So sometimes people, will say, "Oh, I was lucky that this happened to me. I was fortunate that I was able to have the lifestyle that I've had." But you have to be careful that you think about what it is that you have achieved, what have you accomplished,
right.
Because I think that will allow you to get yourself in a place where you're honoring yourself.
Yeah.
If you're not careful, and you think about what you didn't accomplish, you'll feel like a failure.
Right.
You might slip into depression. I've seen it happen over and over again. Wow. People develop low self-esteem, and you're like, well, wait a minute. You've already lived a half a century.
Right.
There's nothing you've gotten done in a half a century that you can say, well done. Right. Like, congratulations to yourself.
Right.
Sometimes we're not good at acknowledging what we've done.
No, we're not. We can celebrate
everybody.
Yeah, we celebrate everyone else. Because we measure it by what they've accomplished. And again, accomplishment is not just about reaching this career goal or something grand. It doesn't have to be that. It's your own personal. It's personal to you. If you wanted to lose weight, you lost 10 pounds and you were like steadfast. That's an accomplishment.
That's an accomplishment. It could be something in the likes of you don't get angry at certain situations when they pop up anymore. Like your growth and your emotional stability, how you handle things, how you entreat certain people.
Right.
Maybe you've grown in that. I know there is something that everyone can say that they have achieved and they've done something well.
Yeah.
And all you got to do is just do some inventory.
That's it.
And it's necessary sometimes because we can be our worst critics.
Yes, we can.
Our worst critics.
And there we go with the words. Like we say, how words can be so damaging. Oh, I'll never amount to anything. Or I'll never, because I didn't do X, Y, and Z by now. Oh, I'll never be able to do it.
Right.
Tap into the accomplishments.
Tap into your accomplishments.
Yeah, we have them.
Seek them, find them.
Yeah.
And acknowledge them.
And it's okay to acknowledge them.
That's right.
Okay.
Absolutely.
You know?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
What you got?
Okay, this is my favorite one. Make breakfast a pleasant ritual. Now, I love breakfast. Anyone that has gone out with me, whether it's 3 o'clock in the afternoon, more than likely, if we're at a diner, I'm going to order breakfast. It's something about it, and it is good for us. And again, I know some people don't want to cook. They don't feel like doing anything.
That would be me.
But then have a health bar. Have something high protein bar. Take that time in the morning. Savor something to eat. Sit in your stillness and focus on your energy for today.
That's good. Yes. Yeah. So breakfast I grew up having breakfast every single morning. My dad was the one who got us off to school, and we had and I'm from the South, so we had the big breakfast. We had the eggs, the bacon, the sausage, pancakes, biscuits. It was like,
oh my gosh, you went rolling out the door, right?
Rolling out the door. And so as I got older, and of course when I got married, my lifestyle was very different than the way I was raised.
Right.
And so our time shift and trying to do all of that, and my kids didn't really desire breakfast that much like that, where it was like we're getting up at 6:30 and they're eating a bowl of cereal.
Right.
It was more like they would have a little snack bar or something like that because they had to catch the bus really, really early.
Okay. Right.
So schedule totally different.
Right.
Lifestyle's totally different.
Right.
So I started to get accustomed to not having breakfast. But what I did realize is that now that I'm over 50 and having, the physicals, talking with my doctor, struggling with my weight, working out with a trainer, they always talk about breakfast.
Yes.
And sometimes we think that losing weight means to not eat. And that is so not true.
It's not true.
Because your body has nothing to break the fast from.
Right.
And it has no calories to burn.
Right. That's why I don't like the word diet. Because I think die to me. Like, you don't want to die. You want to live. And so, like you said, making adjustments. Again, we're not saying that you have the full-on breakfast.
Right.
Like I said, I'm a breakfast person. It energizes me. I just love it. And so, for me, it does boost my energy. But you knew how to shift and have something. Even if it's a bowl of fruit.
Absolutely. A bowl of fruit, finding some kind of small
smoothie or
a smoothie, something that might have some fiber in it, something else that has some protein in it to kind of get your day going. You have to find something, and if you're not sure, talk with your doctor or work with a nutritionist that can help you. But I absolutely concur with you that living and sustaining a life after 50 requires you to look at what you are intaking. In your
absolutely, because your body will let you know.
It will let you know, and it starts to respond differently than where it did years ago. So
this is great.
So here's one: express your gratitude through meditation or prayer.
Very key.
Sometimes we have to take a minute to focus on what we are thankful for.
Yes.
What are you thankful for? Because it's similar to like acknowledging your achievement. It's like making sure you put yourself in a state of mind that you are acknowledging, that you have some appreciation for things in life.
Right.
And that puts you in the right framework to handle things throughout your day.
And that's very true.
Some people like to meditate like first thing in the morning or prayer, whatever your choice is. And starting that day being centered with good thoughts that are about releasing, what you're grateful for, whether it's your health, whether it's your family, whether it's the fact that you are still alive.
That's it. That's a big one.
That's a big one.
If you just go off of that, you can get through your day.
Yeah. And the things that you have, like the ability to be mobile, the ability to still connect with people, because when you think about it, sometimes you probably at this point in life have lost someone that's very close to you.
Absolutely.
And so just being grateful to still have that ability to connect with people and to do it over again that day is enough to kind of put you in the right framework to get through the day.
Yeah. And I like that because what it does is we all know that we have those days where everything is just coasting and we've gotten everything done and it has been wonderful. And you can just say, great day. And then we have those days where like, I want to get back in bed and cover my head up and start again.
Absolutely.
So by starting the day with that thankfulness and gratefulness and just, even if you just have a little sticky pad at the side of your bed, just get up and just write one word that speaks to that. It helps you. You can go back to that when you have had one of those moments or that time where you're like, I'm about to blow. Look for that sticky pad or think about, okay, I'm thankful for that I'm able to have this emotion, but I'm not going to let this control my day.
Absolutely.
And it helps redirect you.
I work with different groups, in corporate or in different industries. And I did a session with a group of people not too long ago about gratitude and thankfulness because it is a way to overcome depression. It starts now. Again, some people might need to medically go see someone, but if you're feeling like down and your emotions are down and you're not feeling like you want to move around and see people, finding and listing out things that you're grateful for will allow you to, it sparks something. It sparks you mentally, right? To reconnect, to lean in and socially and connect with others and to get up and to move about. And so when you can do that, it just releases like this ability in you to say, I can do this again.
Wow.
I can live again. I can live this day again. So being grateful.
Love it. All right.
What
else we have? What do we have?
Use small gestures to strengthen your relationship.
Yes.
Small gestures. Doesn't have to be big.
No.
We're not talking about spending a lot of money for gift giving.
No.
We're not talking about, putting yourself out of pocket for a whole bunch of things. Small gestures.
Yeah.
And it's funny because we talked about the power of the love languages. And I know you talked about how yours were acts of service. This is very similar. Small gestures to strengthen your relationships because, again, you might be in a point at this place in time where you've lost some loved ones.
Right. Yeah.
You might be in a place now where you don't have the kids that's, kind of taking and absorbing your time.
Right.
And so did you maintain your other friendships?
Right.
How strong is your relationship with your partner if you have one?
Right.
Because sometimes you're so focused on the kids, you're like losing. Right? The fibers that hold these other relationships.
Right.
So now you might have to start to kind of like get back
into, as I said, get back into the game.
Get back into the game.
right. Yes.
You might have to get back into the game.
Yeah.
And some people are divorced by now and like were wondering like, how do I put myself back out there? I'm over 50. Will anybody want me?
Right.
I mean, it's so you can find yourself in so many different situations.
So many different scenarios. And those of us that are single and we have, friends that are married with children, and even though the children may be grown, they're in relationship with their husband, or their wives. And so it's taking on a whole different kind of look. And again, it's about finding connection. It's finding connection. And so those small gestures just says, hey, I'm thinking about you.
I'm thinking about you. I see you. So it could be a text. It could be a card. You could give them a phone call. Just say, I'm thinking about you. Yeah. You might want to say, hey, let's just go for a walk if there's somebody close by. Right. I was thinking about you. You were on my mind. Let's just get together.
Right.
And so there's so many different ways that you can do a small gesture.
Yes.
Maybe you write a card.
Yeah.
Maybe you make a gift, right? To just do something very personalized for someone.
Yeah.
Those thoughts of thinking of someone else go a long way, and you'll find out that it gives you more joy than it gives the recipient.
Yes. And let's just be clear, that you put out in the atmosphere,
it
comes back to you. So somewhere down the line, someone is going to do the very same thing for you.
Yeah, listen, that's that boomerang. I'm throwing that boomerang out.
Yes, I want all good things. I want
all of it to come back.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So again, these are simple things that I think can make anyone's life, better in a better state. My motto is living your best life.
Yes.
And it's amazing how, while we're talking about these things, really are intentional, I think, if you're over 50, because they really kind of set you up to make sure you stay in a good momentum and that you're thriving in your relationships, that you have this stronger self-awareness of who you are, what you're grateful for. You've got a strong footing because you have lived a half a century. Just saying that alone is like, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
You've lived a half a century when you're over 50.
Amazing. It is
Isn't
amazing.
that something?
Yeah.
All of those experience, all of that history, all of those life lessons, and now you can take all of that and make the next century. Half a century.
That's right.
Your best.
Yeah. And there's no excuse not to.
There's no excuse not to. Because I believe we have the ability to create the best life that we want.
Yeah.
It's all about
putting
out that positivity. Right. It's all about creating words and speaking those words that bring life. Oh,
this is good.
Oh my goodness. Yes. So listen, you have the ability, like I said, to live your best life.
You do.
I don't care what age you are. And if you're over 50, I hope that you take these tips in and start living your best life by doing these small things to make sure that you stay healthy in mind, soul, body, and spirit.
Yes, this is good.
So listen, comment and let us know. Do you have some ideas that are helping you live your best life over the age of 50? If so, please share those with us. Share this podcast with others that you know may be struggling. Share this with them so that they can have some insights on how to turn their life into their best life.
Yes.
And so, as always, we want you to stay tuned and stay connected on The Chair Chronicles.